seen a lot of, I'm going to use air quotes, digital twin solutions that are just kind of plug in and go. Why are you so keen on that, whereas others kind of just skip to the flashy presentation piece?
We have API, we can connect things, but I mean, connecting things is also a development project that is quite hard to achieve actually, or at least it could be. So in our strategy, we are often talking about a connected digital twin. We need a digital twin because it offers us benefits, but we can't build up this digital building information in different silo solutions. So in our strategy, we use these new tools, a new solution, but we have them totally integrated from the very first beginning and are just into our CAFM systems, so they can use that data as an integrated solution.
Hello, and today I'd like to welcome to the Smarter Building podcast a gentleman called Pål Janson. Pål is a key account manager at ServiceWorks Global in Sweden and plays a role in defining and progressing digital twin strategy across the Nordics. Welcome. It's great to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Rich.
So, Pål, as with all our guests, it'd be great to get a bit of an understanding as to what led you to the position you find yourself in today. Can you give us a bit more information about your background and your story?
Yeah. I have actually an education, a degree in system development at the University in Stockholm. I haven't worked that much with development myself, but I have a long background working with as a reseller in the Autodesk channel, doing development of CD solutions for construction projects. And that led me actually to where I'm at now at ServiceWorks Global. We are developing CAFM systems, and I'm working with digital data, PIM to AM solutions, and so on. So ServiceWorks Global is where I'm now since 5 years ago.
Okay. And in terms of the focus, how are you assisting customers in this role and through ServiceWorks Global at the moment?
Well, we have been developing CAFM system for ages without the capabilities of working with digital twins and stuff. And since I got started at ServiceWorks Global, I got the role to solve this issue with working with building construction data, bring that into our solutions, and we have defined a concept called building lifecycle management that I'm responsible for in our business.
Okay, and typically, what are the biggest challenges that are currently facing the building and estate owners you're looking to assist with the FM solutions and beyond with the digital twin side of things?
Well, it's both technology-wise to get the different CAFM system we offer to actually manage this process, to be able to manage all the data that we can get from construction projects, of course, but it's also, I mean, the maturity among our customers, how they can benefit from using this BIM data, all the information they can get, and how the processes should look like to bring all this data in, because they're working very much manual today, bringing in everything totally unnecessary. But so it's much about maturity, and of course it's different among our customers where they are in the processes and so on.
Okay, and why do your customers see it as important to have the BIM data? You know, they're probably traditionally just use sort of maintenance data. Why is it important to have that core BIM data to your customer base?
Because they are working with this information. They have done that for 20 years, but the processes, how they're managing it to enter and getting the data into the systems are totally manual. So they are spending, it's not it's not unlikely to see that the customer has 10 people working with bringing in data from construction project, totally manual, all the documents, all the data, and of course the systems hasn't been there where they are today, but they need the data in their daily processes in our system, working with contract space management, work orders and stuff. So they need all the data that they can get from the contractors who actually knows what they are building into the buildings, and our customer wants that data in our system.
Okay. And in terms of the wider facilities management sort of channel and technology used in this channel, what do you see as the most significant change over the last, sort of recent times? FM solutions have kind of been around for quite a while now. What's the technology that's driving better adoption?
Well, it's basically to manage all these processes more automatically than before. As I said, they have been using this data not not based on the work that, or actually, of course, based on the work that is done in construction project, but not in the new way of being able to delivering and managing data in BIM models and stuff, CD solutions. All these processes has been manual. So just to streamline information flow from construction into our CAFM system, using that data in our system, keeping it updated, and being able to deliver updated data back to reconstruction project is important. So we need to help our customer to help them to get through these processes, but also, of course, with technology to make it much easier than it has been before.
Okay. So you've got that bidirectional data movement from sort of construction into FM and back again, that data control. So that's the BIM piece and the FM solution. But now more and more people are asking for a digital twin solution. There's talk about sort of IoT, so smart sensors, linking to BMS solutions. How do you go about talking to customers about all this data? It can be a bit confusing, and what should they be doing? How do you look to do this for your customers? And how does ServiceWorks Global, service all these different data sources and needs of customers?
It's a thing with education to educate our customers, but to get them to understand the value of using that data. And since before I said they have been stancing all this data manually, but nowadays they can also not only act on the as-built data. Nowadays they of course can use new technology from buildings, from ITs and sensors and so on, getting that data into our system to be able to take more smarter decision based on fact, how the building performs, more than before, as someone thought it was needed to do maintenance. So that's a huge part for us to work to integrate solutions now, and also integrate the IT data into our system. And it's quite new for us. We have been doing it for a year now, but now it works really good, and we can see huge benefits among our customer, how they are performing the maintenance of the buildings.
Perfect. And in terms of informing that strategic decision making, what do you think is more important? The data being fed in from projects to the FM solution, or the live data being fed in from sensors and BMS solutions into your CAFM sort of core solution?
Well, of course, it's both, but it's a reality. The workflow, the information flow from construction projects is important, but of course, among our customer, the part of the buildings that are new are quite few. So we're talking about something like 95.5%, where the 95% stands for buildings that's existing. So we need to have processes we can digitize those buildings, and also benefits from the IT and sensor and real-time data in that kind of buildings as well. So it's not only for us. It's not only to solve the workflow information for construction projects, but also how we can process and work with the existing buildings in a smarter way than we have done historically.
And how do you go about that digitization process of existing estates?
It's a huge business for us.
Okay.
Of course, due to that 95% of the buildings are already all there, so we need to have an efficient offering for that. So we work really hard and much with digitizing existing building. Of course, it's stuff like scan to BIM, of course, doing scanning, doing modeling, being able to use that data, not only the models in our system, but also the scanning part. So it's new user interfaces in our system to be able to use the investment of doing scanning in the building, so we can navigate inside navigation and so on. But also to marriage that data to the real-time data, so we can benefit from it both. Since before, the scan to BIM was very much a thing to get the real correct geometric BIM model. But now we use both the scan and the model in our system, and it's also this life cycle perspective. We also use that investment to streamline construction projects, of course. So.
And in terms of, I've seen a lot of, I'm going to use air quotes, digital twin solutions that are just kind of plug in and go. You've mentioned quite a few times data, underlying data, BIM data. Your digital twins are all built around that sort of having accurate data, having accurate model data. Why are you so keen on that, whereas others kind of just skip to the flashy presentation piece?
Well, there's a lot of new fancy digital twin solution out there, and everyone says that it's just as long as we have API, we can connect things. But connecting things is also a development project that is quite hard to achieve, actually, or at least it could be. So in our strategy, we are often talking about a connected digital twin. We need a digital twin because it offers us benefits, but we can't build up this digital building information in different silo solutions. So in our strategy, we use these new tools, the new solution, but we have them totally integrated from the very first beginning and into our CAFM systems, so they can use that data as an integrated solution. So otherwise we say that it's like a new digital binder that you have to go and search and look and find data, but we have it totally integrated, so they can act and use and get the benefits from the data right inside in their ordinary software that they have been using for years. So that has been really important for us in our solution.
Okay, so I suppose that makes it easier when organizations expand, build new buildings. It's just part of the workflow, and that digital twin piece becomes part of the everyday norm, rather than having to restart a new project every time with your flashy front-end solution every time a change is made. Is that
of
fair?
course, it's easier for everyone among the user to our customers. They are not as in construction project. Technology driven. It's not always like that in facility management. So it needs to be easy. It's important with the user interfaces and how to get the user experience to be accepted in an easy way.
Okay, so any data entered, any change made is reflected across all the systems, and they can just carry on with their everyday work, I guess.
Exactly.
So sort of changing pace a little bit, in terms of implementing a digital twin strategy, where do you advise people to start? How do you go about getting into digital twins?
Good question. But we always say that our customers should start where it hurts most. They need to think about what kind of data, what kind of processes they need to make more effective. I mean, where should they start? They have to think about that, and we, of course, we are helping them with that. I mean, my colleagues in within services are FM professionals, but we need to do this together with our customers. So start using data where the pains are greatest, so to say.
Okay. So start with the biggest pain and not necessarily just the technology.
Exactly.
Okay. So how much is this about technology and how much is it about effective process then?
Well, it's actually both, I would say. Everyone talks of, many says that the processes are the most important. Of course it is, but you won't solve this without technology. I mean, we need to have that both in construction project but also in facility management. We can have how much and how important data as we can, but we, of course, need to have smart technology to help us with this. I mean, computers are smarter than what we are, so of course technology is important as well. But the processes, of course, you have to work with the customer. They need to do the lessons to 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 dig into where the pains are, what kind of data they need on what kind of assets that is most important. And then, of course, we at ServiceWorks need to add good technology.
Okay. And in your experience, or maybe just from your personal viewpoint, what's the most important, what's the most high value thing you've seen recognized from implementing a digital twin?
I would say it's smarter, more well informed decision, being able to take more smarter decisions based on data, based on fact that we know what has been built into the everyone talks about as built data, but of course we need to have that information on what to be able to keep track on what kind of asset we have, where it is, but also nowadays how they inform. So better data-driven decisions based on facts compared to take decisions on guesses, I would say, and what some single person thinks. So nowadays we can do much more well informed decisions, I would say.
Okay. And is there a specific decision you've seen made that you thought, that was a really good use of digital twin? You wouldn't have been able to support that decision or possibly make that decision without the digital twin being in place?
There are many stories, of course, but I mean, it could be low-hanging fruits. Like we heard stories like a building owner buys the same asset 4 times because they didn't know what kind of asset was needed in that asset replacement. But nowadays it could be more, much more decisions like controlling about getting data from buildings about air quality and stuff, combining that with different sources like the weather reports or how the building is used. So it's low hanging fruits and it's new kind of use cases that can be solved with this digital twin and the solutions we deliver.
Okay. I mean, on the podcast, we are super keen on sustainability. Can you talk through how the creation of a digital twin might be able to drive or inform more strategic decision-making around sustainability?
Yeah, of course. Starting with the digital in construction projects, there are others working in construction projects that are more professional than me, but different kind of simulations in early phases in the construction projects for sure. So we are helping with this digitizing offering we have to have the correct geometries that we can hand over for these kind of simulations, but also in the facility management processes where where we can do smarter decisions, utilizing and perform and control the BMS systems to lower the energy consumption and stuff, compared to, I mean, how the building performs compared to how it's used, and we can use that data in our system to make smarter, sustainable decisions.
Okay. And in terms of supporting these processes, they're obviously going to make operations more efficient. They're going to make providing strategic sustainability decisions easier. Do you think the government, whether that be in Sweden, where you are, or across the Nordics, or even in the UK, do you think the governments can be doing anything to support this wider adoption of digital twins? Is there any legislation, grants, whatever, just to encourage a better engagement with digital twins?
Yeah, of course, and I mean that is starting to happen. Sweden perhaps is not in the front of that development, but we have seen this kind of stuff from Norway and Finland. We see that in Sweden nowadays, and it starts to happen now, and to get the benefits from using BIM and digital twins. And also working, I mean, the fact of working with different standards to make it easier to do this. So we do almost the same thing, or at least more, in the same way in different projects and so on. But to be honest, that's positive. But it's also a question about waiting for everything in the perfect world to happen. We can wait for standards for sure, but we see customers who does this really well already by today, but unfortunately they have created their own standards. They are not working for any kind of government rules and so on, but of course it's positive, and that's starting to happen now around the world, I would say.
So okay, that's sort of what's happening today. What's next for you? What's next for ServiceWorks Global? And as you continue to develop your digital twin offering, how are you going to help customers moving forward, I guess?
Yeah, I would say that we, even if we have been working in this area with this kind of solution for a couple of years now, we are anyhow only in the beginning of implementing this with our customers. So we have had a huge success in the Nordics. ServiceWorks globally have businesses around the world, so we will bring out this solution, this concept, building lifecycle management to our other countries. That's one thing, and we will see very much about this. The area regarding IoT, real-time data, AI, machine learning solutions that we have integrated to our systems. That it's in a cooperation with a sister company to us that has 10 years of experience. We have not, but we have done a great integration now. So we will see a lot of within that area, I would say.
Okay.
But also everything about this I've been talking about with integrated solutions. I mean, making everything much more efficient what it has been since before, bringing in data from construction projects, integrating that data into our solutions, and get this wheel running much more easier than before. We will continue that work and integrate other kind of solutions, like we have done this integration now with for IT, for a CD solution for construction projects. That works, but we will see much more integration with databases with data from manufacturing data and stuff on assets. That will also be really interesting to continue to work with, and we will see great solutions around that.
Okay, and do you see facilities management continuing to exist as it has, or do you see the wider digital twin considerations just becoming the norm? You know, being, I don't know, it may just be considered the new facilities management, I guess, at some stage, but it seems to have changed quite dramatically from maintaining assets in a building to being something that's a much wider consideration. around the environment you're in?
Everything will go faster and faster now, of course. But we are also aware of that we have many different. Our customers are on different levels, so everything is not going super fast everywhere. But the customer who has been digging into this and seen the values of digital twin are coming much more widely recognized. So, I mean, it's spreading fast now. So I would say that the thing with digital twins for facility management will be the new norm from now on.
Fantastic. I think that's probably all we've got time for today. Thank you very much for joining us on the Smarter Building podcast. It's been great to have you, and I really enjoyed listening to your insights, and I'm sure our listeners have too.
Thank you very much, Richard. Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. So thank you very much, everybody, for listening. We will be back with more on digital twins, sustainability, and all things smarter building over the next couple of months. So until next time.